Welcome back to our journey through the Twilight Realm, where Wolfling... Wait, hang on. No. That's not right. Okay, let me refresh my memory. We beat the mid-boss and we got the dungeon item and it's a boomerang. Something is messing with my memory here.
I mean, I don't think there was a mid-boss. It was just kind of sitting there.
Yeah. The point is, we're making a joke in a stupid bit where we reference the fact that this game is Zelda-like over and over again, and nobody can quite figure out if I'm in favour of it or not. That's the joke.
Anyway, so one of the nifty new features of the Crossblade is that you can use it to remotely set off bombs.
Useful. We still can't jump, though.
Well, you know, he is a pretty bulky guy. I would be surprised if he had mad-ups.
No, with the way that we can get that thing to float, it seems like it should have some kind of jumping application.
Plus, he's got wings made of literal, like, physical darkness. I'm pretty sure you can bullshit away to get a double jump out of that.
I don't know, is darkness aerodynamic? We're gonna have to get the Kingdom Hearts experts to answer that.
Oh no. Oh no.
God damn it, no, we are not dragging Novel into this.
Hey, I didn't name anybody. That was all you.
That's right, PW, I'm calling you out.
Alright, so now we have a new problem. There are bombs on the other side, but they're not active bombs. They're gonna need a source of fire before we can set them off.
Are you telling me we're going to have to open our targeting crosshair and target carefully a series of things in the right order? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm just saying, we might be able to carry fire on our boomerang.
It's good. Now that I think about it, I don't think Zelda ever did that with the boomerang. I mean, obviously it had the numbered targets thing.
Yeah, not explicitly. That's a thing, like, the Gale Boomerang sort of did it, but it, like, intrinsically already had it, so it's not like a thing that, like, you could turn on and off.
And I think you can do, like, something kind of like that, like, with environmental features and hazards in Breath of the Wild.
Yes, there are like 1,000,001 ways to set your arrows on fire, making them identical to fire arrows. And frankly, that ruled, because of their whole, like, open-ended approach to dungeon design. Where if you were dedicated or creative or persistent or just, like, lucky enough, you could just make completely ridiculous solutions based on finding some weird way to get there to be fire, and then putting your arrow in the fire, and then shooting the arrow at something. It was good.
Or just abusing the shit out of stasis and, like, pixel-perfect glitches and just, like, launching yourself off the plateau on a giant fucking door completely naked and then running and beating the game.
Quite. You know what Zelda-like did have? Threading of energy sources from target to target. I'll give you a clue. I'm going to say the name and then I'm going to duck.
I don't know if that one counts, because in that game, because in Okami you get, everything is explicitly tied to a thing. Like, you get the fire power, and then you get the water power.
I mean, you get the power to, like, to link fire things to other things and set them on fire, and then later you get the power to just make fire wherever you want. And then really later on you get the weapon that just gives you fire on your back all the time, and it rules.
Yeah, but that's, like I said, that's not really quite the same thing, just because it's, like I said, because everything is so explicitly tied to its own stuff. Whereas the crossblade is very much a one-size-fits-all solution.
Yeah. It's good. I can work with it. Like, once again, they have taken an item that is like very obviously Zelda inspired and they've just put a little spin on it. And it's just different enough to keep my interest.
You did that intentionally, didn't you?
I actually did not, so...
No, I'm talking about Fadul. They took a Zelda item and they put a spin on it. Ha ha.
I mean, I did it deliberately last time. This time I'm just like... I'm pretty sure I've said that, made that exact comment about this boomerang before. Because it hangs in the air and spins. It's great. It was a funny joke. It was worth making. But honestly, I don't know how else to phrase that particular thought. Anyway, it's interesting. And I don't not like it. In fact, I do actually like it. I have to grudgingly admit that I think that so far this is a good video game.
Oh man, so now the puzzle's spinning. This is actually a little obnoxious because it's extremely slow and you cannot make that jump, so...
Yeah... Waiting games.
I'm kind of having flashbacks to, like, there's a puzzle like this in Killzone Shadowfall, only it has the opposite problem where it starts spinning really stupidly fast. And if you try to, like, game the system or just beat the timing a little bit, like, you can actually just die from it just, like, literally slamming into you.
Oh, I think I saw that video. That's the one in, like, in the reactor core.
Yeah. Yeah, the reactor core of the starship. And basically, yeah, like, if you mistime your jump, you can just get clipped by one of those, like, reactor rods and just...
Yep, you're dead now. It's just, you're just fucking dead. This looks...
So I like this puzzle mechanic. I think they do a good job of exploring a lot of the things you can do with inert bombs.
It checks out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just freeform enough to make you have to use your actual thinking brains. Always a delicate balance. I'm sure it'll fuck it up spectacularly later, but that's later. I'm guessing inert bombs don't have very many combat applications.
I mean, you can stick them on enemies, and then if you can get fire to the bomb, it will blow up.
Yeah, but that sounds like a pain.
I mean, alternatively, you could just throw them on an enemy that is already on fire, and then it does all the work for you.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a pain.
Yeah, now you're thinking with portals. Although, I suppose that does beg the question, do you ever get, do they ever go full Zelda and give you active bombs, or...?
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
I'm gonna guess yes.
Actually, no. I don't think the game ever gives you bombs as, like, an inventory item.
You are kidding me, right?
No. No, I'm pretty sure that anytime you need bombs, it will provide one for you.
Huh. Like, not even like a grenade-type weapon or upgrade?
That's shocking.
I'm kind of impressed. Congratulations, Darksiders. You showed a modicum of restraint.
Fucking elevate me pointlessly high into the air and deal 999,999 damage to me, because I am staggered.
Anyway, so the this whole thing was to grab a sword. If you notice back in the main room, there are 3 empty statues, and this is kind of the big puzzle of the dungeon.
Okay, now when you say puzzle here...
It's the puzzle in the same way that, like, the sun was in the Earth Temple of Wind Waker.
Like, it's a big central feature that gives you an idea of, hey, you need to do this thing. Puzzle in that sense.
You can, again, feel the God of War influence just kind of bleeding through, because they do that quite a few times in, like, the really big sections of God of War, where you're given kind of a central hub area where, like, you're just kind of, well, sometimes they, like, explicitly spell it out, like, okay, this is one giant lock to the boss, or the next section, or the way out of here. And then, yeah, you're just given these kind of branching paths, and you gotta go and you gotta just clear each area, and as you clear, like, each little subsection, another part of that lock opens up.
Yeah. It's one thing entirely to have a centerpiece that's like the focus of attention and the focus of navigation. Literally keeps everything centered. Nobody gets lost. It's, in one sense, a tidy way of doing things. Smooth. It also just kind of gets a bit rote after a while, I guess.
Like, it was original when, like, Sony Santa Monica was doing it at the very least, but it's not particularly original, like, 5 years later when, who developed Darksiders? It was,
Vigil Games.
Right, yeah.
Can never remember their name, probably because of the whole THQ affiliation thing.
And the fact that they functionally basically went out of business and then had to be resurrected.
Yeah. Anyway, this game is what was it? 2010?
Yes, 2010.
It's like this kind of dungeon design paradigm wasn't like that tired in 2010. It's getting a bit irritating in 2019.
I mean, yeah, you said 2010 would have put it vaguely contemporary with Skyward Sword. I think that was 2011.
I mean, it took a very long time for pretty much any game other than Zelda to do this kind of content in an area. Like, I'm trying to rack my brains and, like, put the timeline together, but the fact is that video games have been going on for long enough, and I am getting old enough that, frankly, the perspective of how these things developed over time is just starting to get lost. And that's both terrifying and fascinating. But I think it wouldn't be fair to call this kind of thing dated when they made it in 2019, and it wouldn't be fair to judge it for that now.
So our prize for that whole little Switch section is a bomb.
Nice.
Like I said, they just kind of provide one when you need it. There's very little carryover, I guess is the best way to put it.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it just appearing there like that. It doesn't seem like there was any lead up to it. I get the sense of this whole thing being, like, designed by somebody at least moderately clever on paper in advance. And they sat down and said, these are all the things we're going to have. And then we're going to have a puzzle in this room that gets you the bomb. It's like, you can tell where the production effort went. And where they were like, whatever. Do you have to actually, like, sprint or something to do that overarm?
Yes.
Nice. Sprinting along zip wires.
Yeah, that's, it's basically, if you just do the dash move, that's what causes him to do, like, the skip motion as he's going.
That makes total sense.
I can also see, basically, your, I guess, Prince of Persia PTSD sort of flashing back when, you go through these platforming sections because you just want to be done with them as fast as possible.
I mean, the platforming is not this game's strongest suit. It's there, it works, but...
It doesn't look actively awful to be participating in. Like, it doesn't look like something you want over.
Really, from all outward appearances, doesn't look like there's any real punishment for, like, you know, seriously screwing up a segment of it either, like it is in Prince of Persia, so...
Yeah, no, you just kind of respawn at your last platform. So, like I said, it's not punishing, but it's not the star of the show by any means.
No.
It's just like, it's snappy and it gets out of your way, and it doesn't drag. When it drags is when you start getting into the situation where you have to start rushing just because you want it to be over. It's like the boredom trap theory. They get you bored and they make you impatient, and then they punish your impatience. And it sucks incredibly. This isn't that.
Yeah, like, just from what I've seen so far, like, this is a rather decently paced game where, like, nothing has really outstayed its welcome, like, egregiously at this point anyway.
Yeah, like I said, there's a couple combat rooms that are a little unnecessary. And like this one, I'm not really entirely sure what the point even was, because it was like 4 skeletons.
Yeah, but the thing that the game will spend most of its time padding with is still, like, is pretty actively not terrible to be engaging with. I mean, to put it in a Let's Play is a little bit different, but, you know, we can't really judge too harshly for that. But to just do it, yeah, it's fine. I'll allow it.
So this is the point at which I was trying to figure out where the hell the locked door was.
Ah, that problem.
Because, like, yeah, like, your, like, the indication of, like, when you unlock the second one was, okay, yeah, no, it unlocked that door that you just went through, to go fight the skeletons, and, like, that would be the one that leads to the next area, but I guess not.
Yeah, there's a time when navigation puzzles work, and a time when they don't. I guess this is one of those times when it doesn't.
Anyway, let's meet a new friend as soon as I get bored of this skeleton.
Oh boy.
Oh, he's in the next room. Never mind.
Got my hopes up.
We're getting there. Yeah, if you're going to be using the boomerang in combat, it is, like, infinitely preferable to just use a lock-on, because trying to use the sticks to aim is... it doesn't really work in the heat of combat.
Yeah, I can imagine. This doesn't look like a controller technical kind of game.
Did this game get a PC port, though?
It did.
Oh, So, yeah, I wonder how it plays in comparison with, like, a mouse and keyboard.
Probably very poorly. Because, this game has some very nonsensical controls.
Oh, lovely.
There are things later on in the game that are bound to left bumper and right trigger together.
Well, shit.
Yeah, that's always an eyebrow raiser. And you, there's things about the graphic settings in the PC port that I know. Anyway, hello.
So this is the jailer. This is the actual mini-boss of the dungeon.
This is pretty Dark Souls.
I was gonna say, just when you thought it couldn't get any more Dark Souls, it goes, hold my beer.
Man, it's Zelda and Dark Souls. Ah, who am I kidding? This isn't very Zelda. This is like one of the least Zelda things I've seen so far.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. Since because it's going to take me a minute to get to the actual gimmick of the fight, so I'll let you see if you can figure out what to do.
Well, I do notice a giant glowing yellow spot very prominently on the guy.
So, yeah, I'm thinking you're gonna need to basically pop all those giant glowing pimples. Yeah, well, there you go. And, oh, look at that, the lights have gone out slightly.
Ah, but it came back.
But there are like 5 of them, so you know, maybe this isn't that not Zelda-like after all. This is fair enough, really. Oh man, they're glowing red.
Well, yeah, that's because right now he's invincible and he's mad.
Ooh.
Video games. That's not even a Zelda thing, that's just a video games thing.
Yeah, so this fight is a little obnoxious because every time he does his thing at the start of a phase, he summons like 4 or 5 more skeletons, so...
Yeah. You gotta be managing them.
Yeah, to knock out the ads a little bit quickly.
It also seems like his big melee rage attack comes out very quickly and hits in a wide area and is completely unmitigatable. That looks like it sucks.
Yeah, also, it doesn't look like the little underlings really give you anything to heal up because... I know, like, again, there are these types of bosses in God of War, and usually the purpose of the underlings is to literally just give you free health to help make the boss a little bit easier.
I mean, they give you magic when you kill them, but... Like I said, that really only helps you win a damage race.
Yeah, I was wondering when one of those things was going to come off.
Take that, carcereal state.
No parole for you, motherfucker.
Well, okay, that was definitely a lot more mid-boss-like than the last mid-boss. But somehow I don't see us getting another dungeon item at this point.
Yeah, the dungeons aren't really built quite that way. They usually give you the item very early on, and then you have to use it throughout the dungeon. Anyway, this is the wrong direction.
Nice job, dickhead.
You got turned around by a samey environment full of samey doors. Shame on you.
Look, we'll all have plenty of time to think about it as we take the elevator here.
Ah, well. So, in conclusion, I guess I'm going to have to grudgingly agree that this game is, in some respects, not identical to Zelda.